Today, the moon continues in Pisces, and it might feel a little bit like we are swimming in feeling soup as we head into tomorrow's new moon in Pisces. Today, also, as the moon goes through Pisces, it joins up with Mercury retrograde in Pisces. It joins up with Mars in Pisces. So there is this big energy sort of moving, and it could feel like a lot. I'm Marina Orms here with your Astro vibe for Tuesday, March 17th. So if you think of the energy of Pisces as that energy of the ocean and the big ocean waves and how that can really, I mean, I used to swim in the ocean when I was a kid, and so I just remember that feeling of having the wave crash over you and kind of tumbles you and you get disoriented. And I was never really unsafe, but for that moment you really are knocked off your feet and you don't have a way of orienting yourself or figuring out which way is up until that wave kind of recedes. So that's a little bit what we're dealing with today, is this feeling of this big energy washing over us, waves coming. We have to flow with it, right? We have to surrender and allow ourselves to be temporarily disoriented, because then when that wave recedes, we will have the opportunity to get our bearings again and figure out where we are and which way is up. So, some other things to think about with this Pisces energy, and, trying to communicate about this is challenging because Mercury, the planet of communication, is retrograde. So going inward, it has a hard time finding its, outward expression when it's retrograde. It's also in this vast watery sign of Pisces. So it says, I am everything. How do I communicate some, tangible idea? It's kind of a challenge. But we want to think about not how to, right, we're not going to fight the energy. Just like, if the wave comes and knocks you over, you're not going to stop that wave. But what you can do is be clear within yourself that you're okay. And 100% I can tell you that in those waves, I knew I was okay. And once I remembered, I'm okay, it'll be fine once this wave recedes. It really was. But my ability to remember that helped me not panic, helped me, trust that it was all gonna do what it needed to do, and and all would be well again. So the other thing is that these are big feelings, potentially that, this big ocean, and we can kind of become a channel or a conduit for this energy, just like the banks of a river, right? Create a channel for the water to move through, and the water's going to move, right? It's powerful. You can't stop it, and yet it is kind of hard to control. um, but if you think of yourself as a channel or a conduit for something that is moving through you, and maybe there is a bigger picture of love, of caring, of unconditional love and kindness and caring, and just that bigger picture of knowing it's all going to be okay. If you can be a conduit for that bigger truth, that bigger picture of truth and caring and kindness, then that's all you need to do, right? And if you are feeling disoriented or overwhelmed by the feelings, just breathe, right? Come back into your center, back into your truth. Remind yourself that you are okay, that you know who you are, right? That's really, so we just came out, or we're finishing as we speak, an Aquarius moon cycle. that began with a solar eclipse in Aquarius. And that whole moon cycle that we are still now finishing as we speak is about authenticity. It's about freedom. It's about what does it mean to really be you? Who are you? Right? So now that you've had, this 4 week period of focusing on who you are, what's important to you, what you care about, what gets you up in the morning, what is true to who you are, what freedom feels like, you can use that to anchor yourself through this Pisces energy where the fog comes in and you don't know which way is up. It's like you don't have to know externally what's happening or which way is up or what A, B, and C are, right? But you can remember that you know who you are and what it feels like to be you, or what it feels like to care, or what it feels like to be cared about, right? To what it feels like to be the recipient of kindness from, the external world. What does that feel like? How can you be that? How can you embody that in mysterious ways that you don't control, but maybe it's coming through you when you are not panicking and overwhelmed or right, or maybe you are briefly temporarily overwhelmed, but you're not panicking because you're going to trust this flow. You're going to trust what is moving and what is changing and what is being released and what you need to surrender to in that spiritual sense, right? Surrender in the sense that you don't control it anymore. It's happening, it's moving, and not surrender in the sense of giving up. No, not at all. Surrender in the sense of you are allowing that ocean, that water to flow through your riverbanks of who you are. So I don't know if I am making sense. I don't know if I'm supposed to make sense or if maybe this energy is just coming through me. But those are the things that I feel into when I think about today's chart and the energies of the planets for today and tomorrow's new moon. So for more on the Pisces new moon, see my video that came out on Sunday about the Pisces new moon, a little bit breaking that down to understand kind of where we're at and what is changing. And so the thoughts for today are be a channel, be a conduit, figure out how you can allow love to flow through you. Don't be disoriented. Well, you might feel disoriented, but remember that what is true inside of you is going to get you through. That's going to remain true as that wave washes over you. So you don't, you might even be a little bit tumbled by it, just like I remember being as a kid. But right then it will recede and you will find your feet again and things will continue. So what is it you're feeling? What's moving through you? This is, a great way to process this energy is to write, to create, to paint, to draw, to um, sing, dance, right? Like things that allow you to move energy through your body that you don't have to try to hold yourself because it's not meant to be held within your body. It is helpful and important to have healthy boundaries with this Pisces energy. In other words, someone else is falling apart doesn't mean you have to fall apart. And and someone else is having a crisis, and that doesn't have to become your crisis, right? You can have a boundary, and you can remember who you are, and you can be that conduit of love and kindness and caring, or whatever positive qualities feel important to you. Maybe it's hope, maybe it's a connection to the divine, whatever that means for you. Maybe it's staying true to your values, any of those positive things can be what is moving through you and what you are being a conduit for. So, those are my thoughts for today. Thank you for being here. I'm Marina Orms, and my website is astrologyheals.com, and my member site is transformationalastrology.com. Lots of great content with more to come. And you can get a free or paid account at transformationalastrology.com. You can book a reading with me at astrologyheals.com. Thanks for being here. Thank you for subscribing to this YouTube channel. I appreciate your support, and I will see you next time with more astrology for unshakable self care. Bye for now.